Doing really well, thank you. It's exciting. I'm in Chicago. It's fabulous weather. Can't really ask for anything else.
Have you ever spent Independence Day here in Chicago before?
Never.
Never.
Yes, my
Even
first.
though you're from Michigan?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how's it been so far?
Really good. I love the people have been really amazing, and the city is beautiful and full of life and energy. It's great.
That's awesome. All right, so in honor of the Independence Day, what are you thankful for being an American? What are something that you're grateful for?
Well, clearly freedom, opportunity, the ability to be your own person, express whatever you want.
So what brings you out today specifically?
Well, I'm raising awareness for the LGBT community as well as our youth, to tell them to get tested, know your status, be safe, and on behalf of the AIDS Awareness Foundation too.
Why do you think it's so important for us to talk about getting tested? Because it seems like so many times in our media, when we talk about HIV and AIDS, we say, oh, that was 80s problems, you know?
Yeah.
We don't really talk about it anymore, but why do you think it's so important to talk about it right now?
Well, because the problem is growing. It's not, the numbers of people getting infected are not going downward. It's actually an uptick, and I think especially in our community and women, black women, and it's clearly indicating that the message is not being received. And so I think we just need to be a little bit more active about getting the message out and having it actually be heard and people take it seriously.
What do you have to say to people who question celebrities and the authenticity of them coming onto a cast and say like, well, they're just coming on just because of X, Y, and Z reasons, the fame or whatever the case is? What do you say to people like that who question like the reason behind someone coming on board to a charitable event?
Well, I don't think anyone really wants to waste their time. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. And I think we've all lost people from AIDS. And we all know someone who is probably HIV or, who has exhibited dangerous behavior that we all are concerned with too.
Now switching lanes to what's going on, it seems like you're somehow connected to every little headlines that's out here, especially over the last few weeks, of
That's
course.
true,
And I
isn't
think
it?
it is. I would be remiss if I do not talk about like the whole Donald Trump situation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Because you're connected in so many facets.
Yeah, Donald Trump owns a Miss Universe organization. As you know, I'm a former Miss USA, and I also competed in Celebrity Apprentice. So to see him, speak so negatively about the Mexican people and what it means to our country is a little disheartening. I clearly don't agree as a woman of color and as an American with those comments that he made. But I think the important thing is that we have to stand up and show America how we feel by the way we vote. And so we just need to make our voices heard when it comes time for the election.
Of course. And what are your advice to those girls right now? Because they're a week and a half away, and you've been in that position before. What advice would you have for them?
I think that they have to hold their head up high and stay focused, because no matter what happened when I was competing, I always stayed focused. No matter if you had haters or if you were not getting interviews or you didn't feel like you were getting the opportunities, I think for me, I always stayed focused, and that's what I think carried me over the line.
And then with regards to bringing it back to just the whole Donald Trump situation, your somewhat good friend, Wendy Williams, said that she questioned his probability of winning the 2016 election. How do you feel about that? Do you agree with her? Do you question his ability to win?
Well, he's very polarizing, but there is a lot of support out there for him, so it remains to be seen.
And then bringing it back to Nene, of course, she just announced that she's no longer going to be coming back. How do you feel about it? Do you think it's going to affect the content of your show? And also, do you think it's going to affect the ratings?
I don't think will, number one, affect the ratings, because when she had her spinoff show, she didn't have 4 million people watching that. So clearly, the show survives because it is about relationships between a group of women, not one woman. And I think that in the last years, it was pretty clear that she was divided from the cast and sort of being separate. And I think that was harmful ultimately with the show. So I think now it'll be back on track. It'll be back to fun. It'll be back to excitement. And we'll operate as a group as opposed to two separate groups or that divide that she seemed to have created. Of course, she's responsible for a lot of the popularity of the show, and there's history there, but the show will go on.
Show must go on, right?
It will go on.
And then allegedly your good friend, Claudia Jordan, excuse me, may not be coming back. Do you know if that was on her own terms, and how do you feel about it?
Well, that hasn't been confirmed. I think when Bravo makes the announcement, I think Claudia can speak for herself on that. But I would love to see her back. I thought she was funny. She definitely was interesting, beautiful, feisty, all of the things that we like in a housewife. So.
And you famously said once that, and you just stated it here, that the reason why it sets your show apart from everyone else is because you guys represent stories that are, that you're universal. And there's so many people who question the educational values as well as the moral values of reality TV. What do you say to people, and what do you hope to accomplish from that? When people watch you, what do you hope they take away?
I mean, you have reality television that does teach you things. So, I mean, in what aspect? I mean, you have cooking shows. You have all kind of educational shows that are reality shows. But it's a docu-follow series. And I believe that you always learn something from other people's mistakes. You can learn and identify with the women on the show because they are universal stories being told. And I think that's what unites us. That we have black, white, Hispanic, we have 100 nations watching our show across the world of over 200 million people, and we're number one on the network for a reason, and we will continue to be.
That's fantastic. So real quick before I let you go, what's up? What's next for you? Any film work or anything?
Yes, but you know how I am. I don't really talk about things until they're concrete, but I'm launching my own hair care line next month, and you can find out more information about it on my website, kenyamore.com. Follow me on IG, the Kenya Moore, and Twitter is Kenya Moore.
Yeah. Awesome, you heard it.
And Facebook is.
And Facebook. Thank you so much, Kenya.
Yes, no, thank you.